guys. Hello, good evening. It is High Priestess Jamila. How are y'all doing? So first of all, my prices of my readings are back up at regular price. Well, not regular price, but they're still affordably priced. Because like I said, I'm already doing it to where uh if you buy spiritual work, you do get discounts on your readings. So technically, my consultations are free, but not really because you still have to pay for your work up front. But I will take off the fee, especially if you're paid in full. Okay, if you're getting like, for example, if you say, hey, if you're one of those clients that can't pay all of it up front, which we highly encourage that you get faster results, you get better results faster. It just makes things overall better. But if you need a payment arrangement, we definitely do have room for you. And basically, the way that I do it is, you make your initial payment of 66%. And then when you make your last payment, I'll take off the fee of the consultation. Okay. Do not ever contact me without paying for your reading first. I do not accept solicitations. Even if I get back with you from that, my spirits do not like it. They don't like it. I don't know what they do when that happens because, because I get, and this is what we're going to be discussing tonight. Um, I get people with all sorts of problems, like mental problems, spiritual problems, contacting that's counterproductive. I don't need to talk to complete strangers on the internet unless it's about business. And if it's not about business, which means that you've paid me for my time, I don't need to talk to you at all. So automatically you're sus when you're contacting me in my social media or either on my phone if you have not paid for a spot. Automatically. Okay. So make sure that you guys contact me ASAP so that you can get some assistance with whatever it is. But what we're going to talk about today is the adversary and why they're on autopilot the way that they are. Why is this person or people on autopilot? Why does it seem like that? Like to the point where you're asking, what is wrong with you? Like, my goodness, it's perplexing, isn't it? As to why they just go on autopilot. And for me lately, what's been happening is that when I come on here and I discuss important spiritual issues, certain people take it personally because, they have a guilty conscience. And for some reason, for the past 13, 14 years, people have thought that that is the way that you deal with your problems, which is coming on social media and not taking accountability. Now, earlier today, we spoke about why I am being stalked. Okay. Why are these sick people stalking Jamila? Well, first of all, I'm a healer and I'm an empath, but I'm a dark empath. I can either be light or dark. Empaths, our job is to not take on your crap, period. And I work with Lilith, I work with Hecate and Santa Martha to make sure that they're not able to do that. And the Bible and religion is not the bee's knees of it all. It's not, it really isn't, people, and so we spoke earlier today about that. If you guys missed that show, make sure that you go and check that out about how apparently we're dealing with severe abuse victims. However, victims of abuse have to take accountability as well. Nobody has to take accountability for what someone else did to you. And now you're trying to basically, by proxy, this is what we're seeing in the spiritual community on YouTube as well, which expands out to even the religious people that you see on here. Okay, even people that practice religion, they are looking for scapegoats. They are looking for sacrifices to take on their pain because they don't want to deal with it. Okay, so basically, what I was talking about is you can tell that it's going to be very dangerous. And it's something I feel that, like the Public Service Commission or whatever you call them, they need to address it because it's a group of people that obviously are suffering and trying to suffer others in the spiritual community, in particular myself, a healer. I shouldn't have to be dealing with this crap, but because I'm Black or indigenous, they think that it's okay. And never have I wanted to participate in something like that. For what? My parents did not abuse me. I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody that got abused, but apparently it's centered around abuse and dysfunctional toxic love and toxic dysfunction dealing with religion. And them being in a group like that is dangerous. That's very dangerous to combine that type of toxicity. And yeah, I'm going to keep speaking out about you. You can make jokes about it, but at the end of the day, whoever it was that hurt you, now including you, this is why I tell y'all to stay the hell away from religion, because it's almost like the devil that they speak about is right in the Bible. Anytime you believe that you can just put your crap on someone else and make someone else suffer for what someone else did to you, you are now at this point corrupt. You are wrong. You have nothing on the witches. We predate you and your religion, and your man-made religion has no power. And you, as a man trying to be the usher of that, you're going to always fail and lose every single day. And the witches are going to destroy you along with whatever, y'all want to call them demons. You can call it whatever you want to call it. They've been fighting for us throughout the heavens and the earth and everything in between for billions of years now. You think we haven't seen this? In fact, religion is actually a lot older than what Christians think it is. And, we know what it's about. These smart men thought of something, we'll just sacrifice someone else and suffer the children. This is what they do. So what the byproduct of it is complete ignorance, the inability to move forward, the inability to transmute that negativity, whatever it was that was negative, to transmute the negative to positive, even though they claim that they know Jesus. Jesus was a hell of a he could literally turn metal into gold. You not in Christ consciousness, baby. Okay? You're not. But anyway, um, hey Adam, they're on autopilot. Let's talk about that. The reason why the adversary is on autopilot and totally unaware, some of them are aware, but what they're not aware of is that what they're doing is always going to bring them failure, destruction, death, and sickness. That's what they're not aware of. The reason why they're on autopilot and why it's almost like watching somebody bang their head up against a wall of stone wall, literally. The reason why they're on autopilot is because of the subconscious. And the subconscious can be very powerful in a positive way or a very negative way. Your adversary, the reason why they are on autopilot is because they are on the negative side of the subconscious when it comes to their subconscious. They can't control it. The subconscious is behavior and actions. You know how it's that knee jerk thing that they do, which is to enable, deny, be in denial, avoid, hide, lie, right? That is the negative aspect of the subconscious. This is something that they will probably never, hopefully one day they will educate themselves on that, but they claim that witchcraft is evil. So I don't see where they're going to do that. The subconscious is very powerful. And as a Cancer, I am a sun sign Cancer. I have, just to get you familiar with who I am, I have Pluto in my fourth house. No, wait a minute. Yeah, I have Pluto in my fourth house, my Placidus. Pluto is in my fourth house. I was born in 77. I have Neptune in my eighth house. And then I have the moon in my 12th house, which is Neptune, is the 12th house. The eighth house is Pluto, and the fourth house is the moon. So I am like a god of the subconscious, right? Especially being a sun sign Cancer and with a lot of Mercury and Venus in my chart. It just is what it is with a life path number 8. It is in my destiny to be who I am. It is what it is, but it's never in nobody's destiny, especially let alone a witch or a healer, knowing my ancestors and how they are. And ancestors is not just your mama or your daddy and what they did. Your ancestors can go all the way back to the cosmos. So I was born with everything needed to get through this time. Okay. So I rule the subconscious, and nobody can change my subconscious. I mean, I've had my subconscious suppressed or oppressed a little bit, but other than that, they don't have no power. And that's been gone. That's been gone. So what I can tell you is that the subconscious, the dark side of the subconscious, is the result of what the adversaries do constantly. They have absolutely no self-awareness of what they actually look and sound like. They're checked out to lunch, but because they're ruled by their subconscious, they have no control over their behavior or what they do or what they say. The subconscious is very powerful when it is not filled with garbage. The subconscious is what controls the mind in a sense to where all of the missing pieces of the puzzle lies within the subconscious, all of the mystery. So that's why it's so important. Add it with religion, you cut that off, you're going to end up with a disaster. And that's what we're seeing. That's why all that crap is happening over in Palestine. Those men are checked out to lunch. They're over there thinking that they're going to get some kind of reward for blowing up babies. It's disgusting. And unfortunately, we're living in that day and time, and it's a lot of suffering going on. And, it's not to say that men are the enemy. You as a woman not knowing your power can be an enemy. You don't know your power, and you're not using it or applying it correctly. But anyway, we're not talking about that. So that's why they're on autopilot. And especially if they were abused as children, there was certain traumas put inside of their subconscious. Maybe their parent called them ugly, stupid, garbage. I hate you. I wish I never had you. You're a piece of crap, just like your daddy. You ain't shit. Those things have been drilled in their subconscious. And when you're being raised from a baby, this is the reason why when I minister mothers, I always tell them while your little baby is asleep, say kind things to your babies. Especially while they're asleep, when you're in your subconscious. Hey, mama, daddies, and people around them, whoever their mama and daddy left with, while they were asleep, was probably speaking negative things to them. And that's all they know is the negative. That's all they know, or probably even doing something worse than that. That's all they know is negativity. So that's why they're on autopilot. That's why their heart is broken. That's why they're broken. That's why they're messed up. They're not even broken yet, because being broken would be a good place for them to be in, because they are actively trying to do harm to others because of what they have went through. Okay, so they need to be broken, but they're hurt, they're upset, they don't want to deal with the memory, they don't want to face it, they're avoiding it, the mistreatment, the abuse, the SA, the CA. It's so bad for them. Hey, Stefan. It's so bad for them that they are projecting it onto other kids that are loved. They are jealous of children that they know for a fact are loved and not treated that way. This is a fact that that's what they're doing. So that's why they're trying to take vengeance upon children, which is ridiculous. Like, what the hell? What in the hell's bells? And they're violent and dangerous, which is why it's necessary, is very, very necessary to have that demonic from protection from death and destruction in their bullcrap. That's why it's necessary. They want you to be in the consciousness of, I'm going to die for you. They want you to give yourself for them. Doesn't work that way. Okay. So, whatever it was that they went through, they may have been raised by, a drug addict that literally was like messed up, sold them for drugs or something, did something horrific to them, messed them up completely and totally. They don't want the person that did that to them to suffer, because it was probably a caregiver that was close to them. And then plus they're probably embarrassed and ashamed, but it's still something that rules the subconscious, that's knocking at the door of their mind constantly. So that's why they have to project that hate, either directly or indirectly to you. And you've got to help yourself, because eventually we got a new crop of people. I've noticed that there's been new people over here. You got to protect yourself now. I've been dealing with it for 13, 14 years, just on the internet. And the only way it was able to actually touch my home was through DFACS, the Department of Family and Children Services. I'm gonna tell y'all what was the most devastating aspect of that was that when you get a visit from those people, you're not just dealing with the intention of the person that falsely called them. You're also dealing with the negativity of all of the homes that those people been in and out of. And see, that's not right. That's not right. So now you're dealing with the energy of parents that really are shitty to their kids. And that energy is on those agents. So you find yourself doing free work. Well, at least for me, because I'm a high priestess. Because the defects agents are probably victims of child abuse as well, but they don't know how to handle it. They read in the Bible, and the Bible ain't doing nothing but cursing them even more, because the Bible, the spirits in the Bible said, do not contact me. It says it several times in the Bible. It's been misinterpreted. There, that God or spirit, a demiurge, whatever we call it. Adam, what you think? What is your opinion on that? I would love. And Adam, if you'd like to, I can drop my link. I'll drop the link for you guys to come on here and speak. Um, Told them, do not contact me. And they're still doing it. I don't even think that we really dealing with the actual spirits of the Bible. I think we're just dealing with the subconscious miseducation of the people that believe in that. Okay, Adam, that's cool. I understand. You must have a lot going on. Yeah. Well, and I wasn't asking for your stuff to be publicized. I just was wondering if you had an opinion on the demiurge and if you wanted to speak about it, but that's fine. You are welcome to contact me. Just guys, don't my listen, my time is not free. It's not. I have a family to support. I've been supporting my family like this for since 2015 officially. You know what I'm saying? So, I can't, and I work full time. In fact, I can get called at any time. I can get an order through this lovely company that I work for. And I really do like these people, because I have to work an additional job at the moment right now because, literally, uh, and I'm really grateful to the God Aries. Oh, well, I don't want people. What I was saying is to not give them power. I think that what you're dealing with is a copy or a replica, possibly, of that energy and that thought process. But I don't think that we're actually dealing with them. I think that's long gone. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you wanted to, can, or you can just speak about it in the chat room. I personally, as a witch, I don't give things like that power over me. So that's why I said that. Like when you talk about stuff and you have to know the truth as to what is going on. And I'm gonna tell y'all straight up and down what's going on, which is something that most people avoid. And the longer and the longer and the longer you avoid it, the worse it is past life regression. People are actually freaked out by that. People are scared to death of shadow work. It's a part of shadow work. Honestly, let me tell you something with shadow work. And see, it depends on the person. Shadow work is almost like, for some people, for me, it's not like that. And for other people, it's not like that. But it's almost equivalent to having sleep paralysis. That's how scared they are of it. It's paralyzing, which is why you have to work with somebody that knows about that, which is usually somebody that works with Santa Muerta, is really keen on dealing with that, because your past life is affecting your current life. And we are now in Saturn and Mercury retrograde. And so this is a powerful time to work on that and to get past that. Sadly, there are a lot of people that, well, a lot of people, I have people that watch my videos on TikTok, but on YouTube, my channel has been falsely flagged to the point, not to the point of no return, but it's just been falsely flagged a lot. Sadly, a lot of people, you know, that they would be educated on this stuff. But yeah, your past life can, and from what Spirit told me recently, is that the past life has to be, sometimes Spirit is so bad that Spirit just has to destroy it, or either go back in a past life and overcome the adversaries in the past life. So and risky saying that because the adversary is so, the word we'll use, I'm not going to use it because they're so ignorant that they'll attempt to do that, and they'll get stopped at the gates by the gods of Saturn and Mercury, and they'll say you can't do that. So they'll go back, they'll even go back and try to keep the wrongdoings from even back in the past, especially if they feel that they are karmic, uh and they want to latch on and attach to you. Now, technically, your past life, it's more so of a situation or a circumstance in particular for women. Like for me, I was dealing with a past life where I was, and most women are dealing with this right now, to where an abusive man had control over you. He could beat you, he could do whatever he wanted to do to you, and you had nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. You just had to take the abuse. You just had to take the abuse. Society did not care. And what and so we spoke about that last month, about how love spells became a necessity for some people until the witches. It was just a brief history in time where men were able to just do that. Just as a, like, I'm talking about a common practice. Over in Russia, I think it is, they have made it legal to beat your family with a stick no bigger than your thumb. So we're seeing this type of dysfunction in today's age, and people are just ignorant. They're beating up people that are afflicted by spirits. It's definitely a generational curse of ignorance that has been bestowed upon us, especially with the Bible. The Bible was thrown out, overturned years and eons ago, because what the Bible tried to teach people was to avoid the wisdom and understanding of spirit and how it affects you and what it's doing to you. And that's why the Bible been overturned. The fact that we are dealing with it in this day and age is a crying shame, literally. It's a crying shame. And I'm not talking about whatever positive aspects that you pull from that within yourself. I'm talking about all of the negative. It's creating more negative than good. It is. And so As a witch, we don't have any of it. Like, it's none of it applies to a witch. Not a pagan witch. Now they do have the phenomenon of Christian witches. Christianity and Catholicism and Jehovah's Witness and all of that is a man-made religion. All of it, it's man-made. It's not based in any actual spiritual truth and facts. It is spirits, very angry and confused and barbaric spirits, but it's not necessarily truth or fact, or it's actually pretty false. And it has created a lot of false, devastating, and traumatic realities for a lot of people. And so, if you insist on belonging to the church and contending with that religion, and you call yourself a witch, well, you open up the door every single day for death, because they meant what they said in that Bible. There should be no witches in this congregation. And that is because it was created to control a certain group of people. And we've got people debating. We've got black men saying that Jesus was a black man and they were black in the Bible. What difference would that make? Let me ask y'all a question. Why do y'all think that the people in the Bible being black changes the situation? It's still complete and total ignorance and evil. Doesn't matter if they're black, white, green, orange. And what Adam was talking about with the demiurge, and then mentioning Sophia, that's definitely tied in with the Bible, to where that false egregore was created. And the problem is that these days, either people are going to create curses or blessings for themselves and others out of that egregore. And mostly from what I see, it's creating a lot of problems, especially and particularly going back to what we were talking about, people trying to scapegoat. Oh, I'm hurting. I can't deal with this. Let me find the easiest way. I want to destiny swap. I'm hurting. Things have happened to me. I need to take a brand new baby to purify my soul and kill it and bathe in its blood, which is sick. Pagans did similar practices, but pagans would use chickens and goats if they did that. Religion promotes people being sacrificed, innocent people, the slaughtering of the innocents, which is something that, as a woman and as a factual divine feminine, I don't care if, even if nobody else says it, I'm gonna damn say it. No, because I'm already dealing with the souls of the fallen, and the cries of the babies crying, bathing in blood, in their own blood, the spoils. And that's where my empathy lies, not within a confused person. My empathy and my love goes to the people that were unfairly slaughtered and used and abused. It will never go to the abusers or the users ever. Okay? It's been too many stories of people hurt and just innocent babies. Go look at it. Don't turn a blind eye to it. I'm subscribed to the misery machine. Those souls of those babies and children, I heal them just by listening to their story. They deserve it. They deserve peace. Not just justice of the law, but peace. But if you are an adult that's alive, you didn't die as a result of whatever it was that you went through, whatever the circumstances was, and you running around here, you got a chance every day when you meet the sun to do better, and you're deciding to do wrong to people, then that's when I'm going to be your worst damn enemy. And I'm going to have to put your problems to the side and say, wait a minute, you cannot attack these people for the sins of someone else. No, I don't care if you know how to do energy work. So do I. So do we. Seriously, this is getting ridiculous. And you know, so that's just the way it's gonna be. That's the way it is, and that comes from the Most High, and only God has the last word. And it doesn't matter what you were or who you were in a past life. When you were rebirthed onto this earth, you were given a clean slate. Typically, typically, it just depends on the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Every circumstance is different. Then, right now we have CERN doing whatever mystery that they're doing, which, they say that CERN is opening up, things and pulling things into Earth's magnetic field that may not be good for us. I haven't researched it. I haven't had time. But again, it depends on you and what you consciously connect with. For me, I consciously connect with the positive. In fact, my blood type is B positive. Is that a coincidence? No, it's not. Um, and so, for example, like the Lionsgate portal, such a huge opportunity. There's 8 Sabbats, and we were dealing with the energies and powers of 8-8. So I think I put up a video. I think that the video posted. It contact me about my set of 8 sabbatical revival reconciliation dolls. So I'll make a quick video because I put one up on, because that stuff has been taken, oppressed, suppressed since you were a baby. For some reason, it was taught to your family to do it, your parents. They threw it all away. They ignored it. They never understood what this earth was doing, and the blessings and the mysterious power of this earth, which is what the witches' sabbats are based upon. Not evil. They call it evil because the witches have used that power of the earth to defend themselves. So look at who's saying, consider the source that's saying it's evil, which is a energy and force that just wants to end all life. And the power of life and resurrection of the divine feminine keeps things going. So here's the thing. One thing I always tell my clients, and this is something that we're going to have to do publicly in social media is to not give the enemy power by listening to them, watching them. Do the work. Yes, do the work. The work is going to have to be done because your physical material reality, including mine, was tainted or affected. That's why manifestation has been hard. For not that, people will say all the time the economy is bad, the economy is bad. Why do y'all think that there's something's wrong with the economy? Because the bad people have taken over. They're doing things like sex trafficking, selling drugs and stuff. Those are billion-dollar industries. War is a billion-dollar industry. Why is that? That's a goddamn shame. The majority of the world is already lost, but you don't have to go down with the fray. What she sees is while all this chaos is happening around you, you are grounded, you are secure, you've got your guardians, you can pray for the babies that are raised in the environment of the ignorant, and all these babies in this world that are being snatched off of the streets and sold for drugs and all kind of awful stuff. But you know what? You've got your family to worry about. You've got you to worry about, don't you? Because without you, we lost. All of you that watch me, that love me and understand me, we can't lose you, which is why I offer classes for the witches. Okay? They're promoting death and destruction. And we can say all day and night, well, God's going to take care of it. Gaia's going to take care of it, but this is the way it's been done since the dawn of time. They know a way to skew your physical reality, which is why we were talking about the demiurge, which is a very important thing to bring up. They found a way to do that. And Psalms 109, first of all, I took back my power of nine. Nine is not 9 and 6, 6, 6, 9, 9, 9, 9. 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay. But Psalms 109 is a metaphor, is a spell that closes off the crown chakra. If people's crown chakra is closed out, how are we going? That blocks out the blessings. I told y'all I had a client that came to me for a couple of readings, and she was Christian. And I kept at every reading I kept seeing 999 inverted sixes. And something told me to ask her. Spirit said, are you using Psalms 109 against your enemies? And she was like, yeah, of course I use it all the time. I said, well, that's your problem. This shit is backfiring. Don't use that. Why are you using that? Who's your enemy? Your husband? That's your husband. You're too close. And that's it. Because she was going through a court case with her husband. She was trying to divorce him. And he took her to court because she owned a property that they got married. She owned a property that was paid for here in Georgia. She was a local client. She owned a property that he wanted her, as a result of the divorce, he wanted some money out of the situation. For whatever reason, He hired an attorney to take her to court, and he wanted her to sell that house so that he could get half of that money. When she came to me to get the reading, she wanted me to tell her what she wanted to hear. I said, I can't tell you what you want to hear. According to state law, he can absolutely take you to court, force you to sell that house so that you can give him, it's called community property or whatever they call it when you are divorcing. She wanted me to tell her what she wanted to hear. No. Then I find out about Psalms 109. I said, well, you really messing yourself up. I said, don't say that prayer. In fact, I had to do a complete and total cleansing after she left, and she was going through a lot. She had been diagnosed with diabetes and all that stuff. During this time frame, her health was declining and everything. I said, well, that's not helping you. That's making it worse. You're basically calling, you're opening up doorways in your mind that's pulling in misfortune. It's very, very difficult to explain to people that have been programmed. And so hopefully, I haven't heard from her in a while. Hopefully she stopped that mess. You know what I'm saying? And then I said, well, you bringing it on yourself. You married to this man. You're invoking your own demise. You're married to this man. You got kids with this man. And you're wishing on him. Have y'all read Psalms 109? And even if she didn't do that to her husband, I think I asked her, I said, have you been bringing in that consciousness to your husband? And she was like, yeah. But that curse affects the children. That's why your children are affected. You have children with this man. She started crying. She said, oh, I don't know what to do. I said, hey, I charge him for my services. I said, you need a curse reversal. She never got it. You know what I'm saying? Because she had been out of work for a while. She was returning to work. It was a trip. So, y'all will be a part of y'all own demise sometimes doing that. I'm like, are you thinking? That just don't make no sense, does it? So people need to just throw the whole Bible out the house. You know what I'm saying? That is like literally a source of so much evil. People don't even know. Oh well. And it's important to have. God damn it! I did that twice. How the hell am I doing that twice? Something need to be cleansed in here. So that's why witches have been making potions and everything for years to counteract that. I think that the biggest thing that counteracts that Psalms 109 curse would be Ruda, mugwort, and a couple of but Ruda is so important to have. Rue is so important to have around to counteract that. Oh goodness. And some of y'all need to burn the whole rue bush. Goodness gracious. Let's have common sense here. At least at the very least, if you're going to insist on reading the Bible, which I still think that if you believe in that God is certain things that, if you're not actively all the time praying, you should never invoke the negative aspects of it because you're bringing negative things into your life. Common sense, isn't it? Common sense ain't common. So, I'm still working within my Saturn power group, just to let you guys know. Um, and I'll kind of show you guys my altar here. So make sure that you guys get in that. Where the heck is my hold on. Give me a second. Okay, so we've been working with our large crystal. And I know it looks kind of messy. I need to dust it off a little bit. I got my iron ball. I'm gonna put my other iron ball up there because I want both of my balls up there. And y'all see I got my roux to the north, but I got a container. I'm gonna put that roux in right now. I got it sitting in the plastic. I'm putting in a glass container. I got my salt of Saturn that needs to go over here. You know. So, and it's very necessary. You know what I'm saying? Especially in these days, people have lost their ever loving mind. Those spirits and those entities are playing off of that. They're taking advantage. So I guess living and flourishing is evil. You're evil. Why? Because I'm living and flourishing beyond your negativity. And I'm gonna show y'all my I'm gonna try to hold on. This is beautiful, y'all. I am loving it. I'm gonna embellish them some more, but right now they're doing their job. And ask me about this set of dolls. They're not cheap. These are the sabbatical dolls. It's 8 of them, all 8 Sabbats. Revival, resurrection, reclaim. Get it in, especially if you're a woman. But men can benefit from this too. This is my in bulk doll. This is Ostara, this pink one. This one is Beltane. Let me move this out the way. It's kind of taking up some space. This is Beltane. You see, I got them on my little wheel. Um, this is Litha right here, my summer solstice. This one is Lugnasada. This one is Mabon. And then this one is, I know y'all like, why you do Sam Hain like that? I'm going to embellish this a little bit more with some orange thread. I just haven't had time because y'all know orange is related to that, orange and red. But, and in fact, I'm going to do that tonight. This is Sam Hain. And then this is Yule. And then Yule is going to be embellished. I've got some silver cord on the way, and I'm going to use silver and gold cord for that. So, um, yeah. So I've been working. Yesterday I got my vessel of salty water there, and I got a candle going. Okay, because and it's been providing healing. It's been extremely healing. Protection and shielding, prosperity and abundance, good luck, connection with spirit, all of that. So make sure that y'all ask me about that. Like I said, I haven't even figured out a price that I'm setting for those. I'm thinking that the price is gonna range though, depending on the situation. So that's why you don't see me with set prices. The price can be different for different people. It can be. And you can't say, well, that's not fair. Why is so and so's price less or more? Because y'all situations is different. This is the reason why Spirit said, let's nix the website, and you know what I'm saying? We don't do that anymore. And that's the proper way of doing it. Okay. That's actually the proper way, the traditional way of doing it. So, things like my groups and stuff, that's a set price. But, you know, um, what we are now, the next 4 months is, this is this is when you should be making power moves. The month of August is extremely powerful, and you need to be very touchy and testy and damn serious about your energy and what belongs to you and your rights. That's a fact. Those things with these dolls, that energy, that those blessings, that everything has been blocked from you since you was born, since you was a baby. Okay. I'm talking to my clients right now, the people that are going to end up being clients in the future or either current clients. The enemies and adversaries that I've been talking about, I'm sorry, they're the S word. I can't say the unalive word. They don't care. They're lost out there. Don't go along with them. They would love to make you sick like them. Don't be sick like that. Don't give up. Keep it, keep it stride, keep it in stride, and keep it moving. There's always a solution. Okay. So, anywho, now that I came on here and gave y'all some hugs and kisses to my peeps, readings are back up to almost regular price. 30 minutes is 44, 1 hour is 88. My witch's musing 2 hour session is 177. Uh no, I am not a hooker at all. There's no side business of that. I'm an authentic. I do authentic work. You come to me, you're gonna get a reading. So just FYI, a lot of these men think that a solution of their problem is having sex. Well, if a woman or a man was to have sex with a man that has a lot of problems like that, he's going to end up being death and destruction to that person. Yeah, because he's putting a man that ignorant, he's putting that death and destruction and curses in that woman or a man or whoever he's sleeping with. And that because it's been done to them, whoever it was, that I can honestly say I will, like, when it comes to my fam bam, when it comes to my uncles, the one that lives in my grandmother's house, when it comes to all of my uncles, ain't none of them ever graped me, and I would never lie on them like that. They've never. But some of these people that we dealing with, they had uncles, they had fathers, they had cousins that did shit to them, penetrated their body and put all that crud and crap and chaos inside of them, and now they are looking for somewhere to put it. They looking for somewhere to put that mess. You understand what I'm saying? All that impurity, all those curses. All that confusion, that sickness, that dysfunction, perversion. Because it's eating them alive. And apparently they don't have enough self-love to go and get some help like the rest of you. So they'll say you're stupid for seeking help. And it doesn't matter if they have money or not. One thing they have learned is that money cannot buy you happiness, and money cannot buy you health. Even though there have been suspicions about organ harvesting and shit like that. These people coming up missing without their damn organs. But in the spiritual community, I think that is so pretty the way that my because it's a flame going back there. It looks like the sun coming through, and I love that. I love that for us. I love that for us because the sun is up on the other side of the world. The sun done went down, and that can be the moon too. Did y'all catch that moon? It was so beautiful. Get into it. Step out of the dangerous waters that are drowning. The enemies are drowning. Step out of the waters. Step out of that waters. Get yourself in the warm, cool waters. Calm waters. Okay? So, and I'm always here for you guys. I mean, even if you were abused as a child and you were not doing these things to me, we have like I've never been through being abused as a child, but I know exactly how to help you. In fact, people that have been abused as children, they're not the end all be all because they're too biased and I'm sorry, sometimes they're just not level headed enough to actually help people because they haven't even overcame it them damn self. And you gonna help somebody by doing what? By creating a worser situation for them, telling them to scapegoat on somebody else? No. And can't nobody do that for them. Not Jesus, not King Solomon, not nobody. Nobody's going to do that. And some of y'all need to get with Hecate, Lilith, and Santa Martha, because what they will do is they will be a representative for you when it comes to the realms of hell. Even when dealing with Hades, because we always talk about them Plutonians, them Scorpios. Oh yeah, they connected to hell. But them Pisceans, boy, they dangerous as hell. That Neptune ain't no joke if they want to be. So and be badass in your healing of people. Heal this world. Be a good force. Some people decide I'm gonna do bad. Well, there's always a remedy for that. Okay. And praying from the Bible is not going to trump the witches legion. It's not. So many people are finding that out. It's not. You're going to need the witch's power. Otherwise, you know what I mean? So I'm here for y'all. Okay. And this that work right there. This right here is that work right here. And I ain't even got no candle going on this, but this that work. This that work. These crystals ain't playing around with nobody. Okay, those crystals are made of formations of the earth, fire. And I'm gonna get out my other uh I've got two of these iron balls actually. The other one I got over there in my bag. I gotta put both of them on here to create some balance. I'm gonna do that when I get off of here, y'all. All right, let me get my patootie to doody to get these calls and stuff coming in. Um from my job and everything. But I am available. Go ahead and you know, here's the thing about it. They done tried to scare people off. They don't have the power to do that. They done tried to scare people off because, you know, they don't even want my kids to benefit from my wisdom and love and connection with spirit. They don't even want children that I gave birth to, that and it's because they are crazy. They're mentally ill. And we don't care. You don't be mentally ill. Okay, so I'll see you guys soon. Those of you that are ready to free yourself of the enemy's bad karma, because that's exactly what you're dealing with. And everybody that is a client, a paid client of Divine Services, benefits from all of this. However, buy a set of your own. Ain't they cute? Like I said, I want to embellish them, and you know, with some trinkets and stuff, crowns on top of the heads, and you know, pentacles and stuff like that. So they are going to be embellished very soon. Uh, but you know, they right now they kind of have a nice raw quality about them. Okay, so you know that's pretty beautiful and amazing. Okay, all right, y'all. I will see y'all at another time. Blessings to y'all and blessed be the witches.